Hey guys, it's Lauren, and shout out to the one person who wants me to make more videos. So I'm going to make one about traveling because I have traveled to quite a few different places. I have every country I have been to in this little thing, and I'm going to time
6 minutes
on my phone, and I'm gonna pick out the countries and then say a funny story or a weird story, I don't know, about the country. Okay, before you say I'm spoiled, first of all, I already know I'm spoiled. Second of all, I pay for all this stuff myself. My parents do not pay for any of it. And I hate, and it always happens, like, even if I say, like, oh, I went to the town, I don't know, 2 hours away, like, usually, like, an adult will, like, be like, oh, my parents would have never let me do the blah, 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 all that. Once I actually, like, really got upset, because he, like, really got, like, passive-aggressive at me. He was like, oh, you must be lucky to have parents who can just pay for whatever you want. And I was like, oh my god, and I kind of went off on him a little bit. So, shut up! Killing me. If one more person tells me that, I will die. Because I hate when that happens. Okay. I'm nervous, actually. This is gonna be like such a shit video. I'll be like too nervous to say anything. Okay. Okay. Morocco. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so I went with my friend to the Sahara Desert, and we got a tour guide to bring us there, and he was driving a stick, and it was really cool because like the desert, it's just like, it's like literally like the desert. It's like literally like the desert. It's all sand and hills and dunes and stuff like that. And he was driving the stick, and I was like, I haven't driven in forever. I'm like, you should teach me how to drive in the sand. And the guy's like, oh really? Like, do you know how to drive stick? And I was like, yeah, of course. And my friend beside me like, no she doesn't. And I was like, yeah I do. And my friend's like, oh, when did you learn how to drive stick? And I was like, my aunt taught me. And she's like, okay, fine. And then he's like, okay, I'll teach you. So he gets out of the front seat and he starts going to the back, and I turned to my friend, I was like, I've never driven stick in my life. Get ready, buckle up. So I go into like the driver's seat and I start going. And like, I was probably like not even 10 seconds in, 5 seconds in. Oh, and then I was like, which one's the brake and which one's the gas? Because it was like weird, I didn't know which one was which. And at that point, like, he knew. So I drove like for 5 seconds and he's like, you have to stop. Okay, I think I fixed it. I was on China. So I've been to China twice, and both times though were on like volunteer things, like the organization paid for me to come speak with them. So we, most of the days like we were working, but my favorite thing in China was the fake purses. So they just have like rip-off like Kate Spade, I don't even know any like fake purse names. I just like see it and I'm like, oh, that looks fancy, and I buy it. So like it's always really fun going in, and you kind of speak to them, and they sometimes will take you to like a back store, like through alleyways and stuff, and or downstairs like closet, and they'll like open the door and there'll just be tons of like Louis Vuitton and all that, but it's not really, it's like fake. Or sometimes they are real and they're just stolen and then they're reselling them. So I was like getting like really cheap fake purses. I just think it's fun. Like usually I wouldn't be into that. I don't even know a lot of the brands, but I just think it's fun kind of like bartering and I don't know, getting deals like that. I just think it's really fun. Next is Tanzania. I was thinking about this because Tanzania is like one of my favorite places I've been, but I don't know if I have any like ridiculous stories about Tanzania. Like ones that I can say really quick. I guess where I stayed the past 2 times I've been there, it was like near an orphanage. So sometimes I would go to the orphanage and I would just like play soccer with the kids, and it always like freaked me out because the kids would always like be throwing up knives for cooking and stuff like that, and they'd just be like, they thought it was funny because it would freak out visitors who would come to play soccer with the kids and stuff. So they would always like make a show out of like throwing the knives up and throwing them at each other. Latvia! I'm so excited I got this one because I have a story about Latvia. So I was also sick. I was sick, and I had like congestion or something like that, and I was just not feeling good, and my mom went to the drugstore, and we were like looking for drugs that, like over-the-counter drugs that I could take. I'm just gonna finish this one. And this one, I don't know, the pharmacist was just like, yeah, this one. So we couldn't read anything that it said. It was all in Latvian, but I took it and it just knocked me out. It was so ridiculous. Like, I started feeling really tired after a while, and this was just over the counter. I started feeling really tired and just not very good. So the thing is, we already checked out of our hotel, so we went back to the lobby, and it was me, my mom, and my brother, and we just said, like, we are already checked out of the room, can she just sleep on the couch? So they were like, okay, and I was like, please stay, I'm not feeling good, and my mom and brother were like, nope, we want to go see what McDonald's is like in Latvia, and I was like, fantastic. But before they went, like, I don't know what came over me, it was so strange. I thought I was a bee. Like, it was totally ridiculous. I kept pretending I was a bee. I was like walking around with like, and I had like my little stinger, like I was pretending my arm was a stinger, and I was just buzzing around, and like I just wouldn't stop buzzing around. I was like, I'm a busy bee, buzz buzz. It was so ridiculous. And then they were like, hey, we really gotta go, and I was like, no. And first, like, I just saw we just saw Brooklyn, that movie, and it's about like a girl who comes from Ireland to the United States, and I just like thought they were going to the United States for some reason, and I started tearing up, and I was waving at them, and I was like, goodbye, like, please write me, I'll miss you. They left, and I fell right asleep. So thank you so much for watching. I do have a lot more of these, so if you want to hear any more travel stories, just let me know and comment down below. If this gets 1 like, I'll make another video. I'm so desperate for any sort of attention.